I was 13 when Miss Jackie told me the news. "You got a little booty on you, Glenn," she said. A family friend who worked in finance, wore shiny red acrylics, and kept her hair buzzed real low, Miss Jackie was straight no chaser. She was known to tell you some real shit, most often between long drags from a Newport. "Really?" I'd asked, trying to look over my shoulder for a glimpse. I'd been so preoccupied by my lack of boobs that I hadn't even noticed this recent development. We built the same," she'd said knowingly. "That means you gotta watch out for these men out here. Them dirty little boys at your school, too. Don't let them talk slick to you, touch you, or get to your head. And when you're ready, I'ma give you these jeans I ain't wearing anymore. It can be hard out here for girls like us." 5'6" with thick thighs and hips, Miss Jackie had body. The array of super stretched jeans she regularly wore accentuated it. That day, she was in a pair customized in that very early 2000s type of way. Across the butt was a splattering of rhinestones resembling a shooting star, and most of the thigh was bleached to a yellow-white, including a hazy set of tiger stripes just below the front pockets. They fit her perfectly, hitting the small of her waist just right. She wasn't even wearing a belt, something I later learned was no easy feat for girls like us. I felt both special and tainted by Miss Jackie's message. Suddenly, I possessed this thing other people yearned for, men and women alike. My friends didn't have boobs or butt, and though I might have been flat-chested, at least I had a little booty on me. It made me feel closer to that distinct, grown, black woman confidence Miss Jackie had, the kind she'd exuded when she'd stood up and modeled her jeans for me that day. Still, I kept wondering about her warning. What did she mean about the men and boys? What did I need to watch out for? I was a freshman in high school when I realized I was ready to flaunt my assets. I was feeling myself in that rebellious teenager kind of way and was convinced I was grown, or at least grown enough to start dressing like I was. I'd go home and watch 106 in Park and fantasize about looking like a video vixen, doing a slow-motion walk up my block, rocking fly-ass, form-fitting jeans that would accentuate my curves the way Miss Jackie's had. I set out in search of the perfect pair. I flirted with Levi's for a hot second because it's what I'd seen in ads, but those were a no-go. The hard, non-stretch denim never fit over my butt, and if I found a pair that did, the waist was always huge and the leg was at least 3 inches too long. It was aight though, because back then, it was really all about baby fat, Lady Aniche, and Rockaware. My mother's hairstylist had a connect who sold brand name jeans that fell off a truck for half the price. I got every pair he had of my size. But even though those were urban brands, those jeans never seemed to fit me quite right either. Yeah, they had a fair amount of stretch, but I had to pull them up every 5 seconds or else they start slipping down and sagging in the crotch. The waistband remained a fucking problem. My ass crack was always hanging out. Belts were no help. I was always jamming pens through the leather to add extra holes. I felt so awkward, so uncomfortable in my clothes, and by extension, in my body. It felt like more of a burden than it did a gift, like I once thought it was. Maybe that's what Miss Jackie meant when she said it could be hard out here. None of that seemed to matter to men, though. They wanted to drink my bathwater and take me out to eat. I was apparently always someone's future ex-wife or their ma or their baby. Sometimes I was just shorty with the fatty. It was a daily norm. Men posted on stoops called out to me as I walked to the train. They reached for my hand as I exited the bodega. Most days, depending on how awkward I was feeling about my body, I clung to their glances and catcalls for affirmation. It didn't matter if the clothes made me feel physically uncomfortable. I wasn't gonna stop wearing them. I anxiously waited for these men to call out to me, to tell me I should feel good about my body just because they liked looking at it. As a teenager, I wanted so badly to feel womanly, sexy, confident, and grown. But now that I'm actually grown, I've learned that in most cases, those men didn't actually want to pursue me. They just got off on the action of shooting their shot. And what I needed all along was comfort in every sense.